Okay, so I'm making another video. I'm sick, so I'm dealing with a cold, but I wanted to make this video about this topic that just came to mind. So the topic of discussion is talking about basically my perspective on and it's not even really my perspective. This is just what I feel like motherfuckers really be doing. Like, you ever see celebrities or important figures when they're at their peak of their legacy? And by their legacy, it doesn't have to necessarily just be anything concrete or physical. It can really be their legacy as in their influence upon others, how they've helped others, the type of inspiration that they, sow those seeds into other people to birth their own dreams and stuff like that, right? You have motherfuckers that, let's say if you're an authentic person and you have a lot of influence, or you're able to inspire people and motivate people, you will have some people who will, and not to make it sound paranoid, but you do have some people that will watch you and monitor you, to see, not only to see how far you go, but what's your pinnacle, when are you gonna be ripe? And when I say ripe, ripe in your success, ripe in your legacy, right? You have some people who are very demonic, and they believe in sacrificing people. They believe in doing sacrificial rituals. They believe in and it's not as it doesn't have to always be as spooky as people standing over a cauldron and singing wicked spells. No, it could be just as simple as people just wanting to sabotage you, or spread false gossip, or get you caught up in court cases that you don't need to be in, shit like that, right? So which is still, if you read between the lines, that's still witchcraft. That's still doing something false towards someone that hasn't done anything, right? So anyway, that's still creating an illusion of sorts, right? To go against someone. So anyway, before I digress, so you'll have some people that'll wait they'll wait at least until they'll have two moments where they can wait, right? They'll either wait until you're at the pinnacle of your career, if you don't really know what's really going on energetically around you, or within people, or within yourself. Some of these folks will wait until you're at the pinnacle of your success to try and sacrifice you. And sacrifice is not, like I said, it's not just something that somebody can woo just do and be in a room and stir a cauldron and do that. No, sacrificing could just be as simple as somebody just sniping you, or someone trying to kill your character or defame your character, right? Because they see you as too influential. And then there are some people who might see you as a threat if you're more influential than them, or if they feel like they cannot control you, right? So they'll either wait until you're at the pinnacle of your success. They'll try to either take you out, kill you, or ruin your reputation so that they can harvest off your energy, or even do smear campaigns to make you less influential. And then they'll try to take you out, and then they'll try to still harvest off your energy and say what a great man she was. What a great man he was, what a great woman she was, and all this other stuff. And then they'll just, all the weird shit they do, still release music after you passed away, even though you probably didn't even give permission for certain songs to get released. It doesn't matter, because in their mind, dead man tell no tales. And some people can be fake as shit, especially if your family is your own ops. If your own ops is your family, and you, let's say you pass away and you don't have all your affairs in order, paperwork wise, they can be oh yeah, I can authorize you to release this song. And it's that was probably never a song that the actual person wanted released, but it's just a lot. But that's the first instant that they'll wait before they try to take you out. The second instance is they'll wait until after you die. If they know that you're too smart for them to really come at a certain way while you're alive, they'll try to wait until after you die to to do some fuck shit or say some fuck shit about you. You ever seen like when some people who are like highly influential and then they pass away, then the next thing you know, like a month later or a week or two later, this whole documentary comes out and they're like, the real truth about bop 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 bop. And it's like, damn, why didn't you release this documentary when they was alive? You just wanna say a bunch of shit. And because this person dead and can't say nothing back to confirm or deny these things, you just wanna stir up a bunch of stuff within people. So they'll wait until after that too, especially if they know that you like way too smart for them or some shit like that. They can't get you when you alive. They try to come after you when you dead. They try to come after people you was friends with before. And not say come after, they try to get to them to get to you. Like people who you was once friends with or old circles used to hang around, even sometimes your own fucking family. And if they know good, they'll sell you out for a quarter and 50 cents. not a quarter 50 cent, $1.50. I'm just saying, because like all this coming off the dome right now, it really be fucked up, like how much they think we don't notice the patterns in which they have tried to sacrifice people. And then another thing too that you got to call out, when people want you, and this is not off topic per se, but it is something that I also want to call out since we're talking about the topic of like how people will try to sacrifice you or offer you up. Sometimes the means in which some people would try to sacrifice a person will come off as people wanting you to sacrifice yourself. Like they don't want to sacrifice you because it'll make them look bad. They want you to come off disturbed. They want you to come off like something is wrong with you. They want you to come off a certain way so that if something were to happen to you or if you were to die, there would be all these reasons and excuses that they could come up with and lie about and speculate to determine how that happened to you, and then overall make it look like it was only your fault or it was just your fault. And when in fact it was never your fault. You were under spiritual and energetic attack from people who never wanted to see you grow, never wanted to see you be as big as you were, didn't even want you to know how big you were within yourself, how much you could actually have impact upon others, because they knew that if you shined your light, it would shine on their shadows, the things that they wanted hidden. That's why sometimes it's not always good to tell people your dreams, but it be so fucked up sometimes because it's sometimes not hard to hide. It's not easy to hide it, especially if your biggest ops is your family members, people you actually literally not only was born around, but grew up around a little bit. It's sometimes hard to hide. And a lot of times people will see you before you see yourself. So when you have these dreams and stuff and you feel like you're comfortable and safe enough to talk about it with your mom or your dad or your sister and brother, shout out to those who are lucky enough to have family members who actually are not weirdos, because not everybody has a loving family. Some of us survived our families. Okay. Some of us were not raised by our families. We survived them. And what do you do when you know that, the people that you thought you were supposed to trust the most was the very same people who was opping against you, hoping that you'd fail, hoping that you'd be depressed and give up on life, purposefully left you stranded in the dark, purposefully didn't think you was going to make it, didn't want you to make it, hoping you weren't going to make it because they knew that the things that you wanted to do was bigger than you. Even at the time when you didn't see it was bigger than you, maybe at first you just wanted to do some cool shit and you really wanted to create art and something really resonated with you and you really enjoyed that and you really loved that and you just saw it as something you just wanted to dearly do. But the people that was hating on you, the people that was seeing the bigger picture before you, they saw how it could go beyond you. You were so into what you loved. You were so into what you enjoyed. They knew you was going to touch somebody. You was going to affect multiple people because you're not even paying attention to who you are influencing. You're just doing you. But that was affecting so many people. And but when you're around the wrong people, it could trigger people's demons. And so you never know sometimes the type of ops you'll have in your life or around you just for being yourself, just for believing in yourself. And there are some people who will really feel like they can kill your spirit. Or they were hoping like if they left you abandoned, if they didn't help you, if they didn't nurture you the way you needed to be nurtured, if they didn't give you certain resources, if they didn't, give you the head start you truly needed in life, that you would eventually be depressed, be on drugs, get fucked up, you know what I mean? Like have a whole bunch of kids you couldn't take care of. Just do a bunch of shit that would sabotage your life. There are people who really do that to people. And just because somebody not putting their hands on you physically don't mean people don't try to abuse you in other ways. And just because, you know, it's subtle, because psychological abuse is a thing. You know, narcissists do this shit all the time. Narcissists, as someone who had to get away from narcissists, who have dealt with multiple narcissists before, you cannot, these are the type of people who unfortunately seek pleasure in hurting other people because they are hurt. And these are not people that, you can't force these type of people to change. You can't force these type of people to make to see the light. That's why when it comes to narcissists, the best thing you can do is leave them the fuck alone. Leave them the fuck where they at. Leave them in their misery. Do not entertain them. Do not engage with them. Do not involve yourself with them. And it's a hard decision to make because some of them people might be your family. Some of them people might be people that you once loved, that you once really felt like you could take with you to the top. People that you really felt like you could really look out for. And guess what? They was the main ones hating on you the whole time. And you have to separate from them. You can't get it. Like, some people get stuck in these toxic cycles because they're like, no, but that's my mom, that's my dad, that's my niece, that's my nephew, that's my cousin. Fuck all that. When people don't fuck with you and you've seen them be around you for years, or not even be around you for years, maybe you had to separate yourself from them, and it got so bad to the point where you really don't feel like there's anything positive that this person or these people can truly add to your life, or are willing to add to your life, to the life you truly want to create for yourself, either because they don't believe in it, or it's different. Their lifestyle is different from yours, or it could even be the simple fact that they was just hating on you. They didn't want to see you do better than them. They knew you had the potential to do great things. They just didn't want to see you do it because it would hurt their ego. It would hurt their ego, it would hurt their shadows, and it would force them to come face to face with the real reason why they was doing shit in the first place against you. Especially when you leave them to their own demons. They have no choice but to deal with it on their own. Because see, by having you martyr yourself off for them, they wanted you to sacrifice, and not all sacrifices is like a physical death. Sometimes sacrifice comes with sacrificing your time, sacrificing your money, sacrificing your love and nurture and care for people who never intended to give that back to you. Therefore, you were sacrificing yourself. As someone who used to be like a formal people pleaser, it wasn't necessarily my fault. I was conditioned to be that. I had to uncondition myself as I got older. I had to unlearn a lot of things that I realized was not right, that I was being taught to believe and look at certain things a certain way, that it wasn't until after I got away from certain people, I realized that shit ain't it. Why'd this person tell me that these type of people was this way and this type of people was that way? And here I am branching out on my own. I meet these type of people and they're nothing like what I was taught about. They're actually really cool people. You know, I have a sibling, right? That I no longer speak to, but I have a sibling where once upon a time when I was younger, I was influenced to believe that people with darker skin were trouble. Like, oh, if they too brown, it's a no-no. I would even see this person teach their kids and say to their kids, say no to brown. If they're too dark skinned, it's a no-no. And literally talk shit about people that look just like them. And this person herself was just as dark as the people she was talking against, teaching her kids to look at a certain way. One of her own children is just as dark. But because I was around that person at the time, and at the time I thought they was so cool, and I didn't think that person could do no wrong or say no wrong. But it wasn't until I got away from that individual, branched out on my own, I saw exactly how wrong that person was in a lot of ways. And that's just one person, one narcissist that I dealt with in my life. Sometimes the road less traveled is the better path to take, because when you try to go down this road where everybody's just agreeing with everything and everybody, and you just want to be a part of the group so bad that you don't have your own fucking mind to do anything, sometimes that will be the lane that will really get your ass in trouble. So I'm gonna leave it at that.